Welcome to Season 13 of Next Gen. This is the Modern Touring Car category. We're here from Oulton Park Island. And 5 minutes of qualifying begins with me at his home track. Or at least that's what I've been told. Phil Humphreys.
Hello there. Yes, I'm very much looking forward to this. Track literally about 25 minutes drive away from where I live.
Wouldn't it be funny if you could go and watch this in real life? All the Next Gen boys having a good crack in these touring cars.
Yeah. I'm not sure it would be quite as action-packed as driving one of these things in real life. There's slightly more to it than on a game, but
now, format is 5 minutes of qualifying followed by 15 lap race. Should make things very, very interesting.
yeah, the track's going to be very, very busy out in qualify, especially with 5 minutes. It's literally, oh, Bentley getting a little bit out of shape there, but literally some parts of the track are going to be very, very bunched up.
Now let's have a look at the standings whilst they come around to start their first lots of flying laps. Jack Team53 Synopsis leads this championship on 94 points, only 2 ahead of NGR Scooby G, wherever he is on circuit. NGR Ginge, he is currently 3rd on 74, NGR Martin on 62, D Whitehouse 751, Jamie F 30, 48, Fraser's on 47, Adam Morris on 44, Wifford 0, 39, Slidergas 28 on 35, Royston 35 as well, Shadow Stalker 30, Cam123 Diz 19, Caesar 82, 16, MLV 2741, 15, Envoy Extreme 15, Tim is on 11, Nafe 1981 is on 9, Edu on 8, and Ben Sully 2000 on 5.
It won't be long now until drivers get the times in.
Who will be the first man? It's not going to be Envoy Extreme because I think he went out quite late. There's Ben Sully 2000 clipping the tyre bundle there as he went sideways through the first part of the chicane.
Now that, in a weird way, that could help Ben Sully out because that'll allow all the traffic to get in front of him now and make their way off into the field, and it will give him some clear track time, or track space, so could play to his advantage really.
Just got to get back to the line now. Remember, only 5 minutes of qualifying does not allow you a lot of room for error. Comes Adam Morris for his first attempt. Invalidated lap time by the teams. Yeah, and I think that might have invalidated this lap as well for him. Looking at the bottom right race feed.
Jim's leading the way at the moment in the McGann.
Now, I was speaking to Jack before this race. He said to me, obviously I said to him that you were staying on to commentate for this one, Phil. And his reply was great stuff. He knows it's our home race, so he'll give it some welly. And that welly is got him in 9th place at the moment.
Yeah, it is a local track for Jack as well. Hopefully, I mean, is he going to have time to put another lap in?
Ultimately, Envoy Extreme disconnects again, right at the end of qualifying again. This is not the nice occurrence you want to be having.
I think Jack's just going to have enough time here just to get another lap in as well. It's going to be right at the end.
Yeah, he's got time. He's made it across and he's put it in pole position for good measure.
So he's definitely giving it the welly. I suppose as he is local, I'll have to cheer on Jack. Although, I shouldn't really show favouritism.
And that will be invalidated lap time. And there you go. So, Jack at the moment on pole position. There's Whitford into Hislop chicane. Into Knickerbrook. Very fast right-hander Knickerbrook coming out of Hislops. Clay Hill into Water Tower. And Druids Corner. Up to Lodge, which I think you'll remember, Phil, is very famous for the two Honda teammates of Shedden and Neil crashing out together.
Yes. Yeah, I remember when, so 2 seasons ago when Subaru had the fire, and it was Oulton Parkway, they made their comeback, and it was Turkington and Plato did a first and second, and they basically did their cool down lap side by side, and I was standing at Lodge Corner for it to see him drive past, and it was just such a great thing to see. Scooby also was with chatting away there. Scooby took pole right at the end as well. So
Yeah.
very good qualifying session. I think that sometimes I like those really short qualifying sessions, just because it's so hard to predict who's going to get it, because it's literally, if you get your timings right and you can cross the line and get that extra lap in, it can really, really benefit you.
Here's the other thing, Jamie FL30 down in 13th and Adam Morris starting dead last in 15th.
And again, because it's such a short session, if you get especially on the first corner at Old Hall, if you just go slightly wide on that, the penalty there is quite harsh. So you've really got to watch out for that. And that 5-minute qualifying session, it's one of them. If you don't have any decent laps or the luck goes against you, it can just absolutely go the opposite way from how it did with Scooby and Jack.
So we await the starting orders to proceed here at Oulton Park. And here they come. They sink in. You start to get ready. 3 red lights at Oulton Park. We are green for round 6 of the modern touring cars. It's a poor start from Jack. He's going to get swamped here by Fraser. And there's Whitford in the rear-wheel drive BMW looking to take the lead into Old Hall. Not quite doing it.
Fraser got a really good start there. Really fast off the line.
Good camera work.
Camera tries to catch up with Jack in 3rd. Oh, that's NXTGEN going off there, getting caught, back end touched the grass. Going to lose a lot of time and a lot of places there. Now, has his work cut out. Fraser round Island Bend.
Jack gone round the outside. Round the outside for Jack on the island hairpin. Cracking move from the McGann man to put himself back into 2nd place and back into contention for this win.
Yeah, that BMW being swamped by McGann's at the moment. Fraser really applying the pressure here. He is coming under attack though.
But so is Fraser coming into Druids from MLV here. This could help.
Yeah, MLV.
So say this could help Whitford here.
Yeah, definitely. You can already see the gap that's formed from Fraser, who was, bumper to bumper before, but has allowed a little bit of breathing space to form. But MLV, a new name really to NXTGEN. I've only recently seen him racing in a few leagues, but he's already making quite a good name for himself in the leagues that he takes part in.
Through all
that's
and
Fraser going off there.
I think having to avoid Whitford as he went a bit wide and a bit sideways in the BMW. And there goes MLV.
No, MLV gets caught up.
He dragged himself out of the gravel, back on at the Cascades. Scooby leads by 1.2. These two, your top 2 in the championship, by 2 points. So at the moment,
You just see the distance there as well. Whitford's still under attack from Fraser.
Who's also under attack, that from Martin behind.
We're on board with NGR Martin now. He's about to end lap 2 of 15. Heavy braking into Lodge.
Through Deers Leap they come.
Deers Leap.
Up to Old Hall for the third time. And Fraser's still not close enough to make a move.
Oh, back end's coming out. He's able to keep it though. Loses a lot of time though. Fraser's
gone.
On the grass.
Unbelievable scenes there. Oh, that looked like someone going off as well. I think that was Royston. It was Royston.
I think it might have. Thankfully for the drivers, damage is off for the race.
Obviously visual
Fraser.
only.
Fraser has quite a heavy damaged car. It looks
And
like
a
he might have a
penalty.
slowdown penalty.
And how's MLV passed? Jack has a time penalty as well in second place.
It is a tricky track on the game to avoid the penalties. It is possible to do though, you just really need to be careful. If you do go off, get your foot off the accelerator, just don't power down and you should be able to avoid the penalty.
MLV catching up with Adam Morris here through Lodge into Deers Leap.
Yeah, MLV got caught up. I'm not sure it was before, but got a little bit of touch on the side, which sent him onto the grass and spinning. So he is fighting back now.
Down as Cascades, very tricky bend, but if you get it right, you're going to go very quickly through it. And I think Adam Morris...
it's definitely one of those corners, use the camber to the effect. Try and carry as much speed through.
What's that happening? We have Ben Sully, Shadow Stalker, and Tim. Tim has decided to give up the BMW. He started with the BMW and has given up with it, returning to the Megane. He just wasn't getting on with the BMW, but he's not gonna be on Shadow Stalker's Christmas card list this year after that one.
Yeah, he's not somebody you'll want to remember for the race.
I think he's
feel frustrated with that. Tim is allowing him past though, as a way of apology.
I tell you, and it's a shame if you just miss your braking point round here. It does have severe consequences. Jamie now has a potential slowdown. I think he was slowing down there, just a touch. All of this, Ginger's back up to 9th after dropping down to the back of the grid. And he's starting to catch up to Fraser.
Ginger has raced this track lots and lots of times, so he's well aware of the layout, braking points. Fraser won't make it easy for him to pass though, if he stays on the black stuff.
Back up near the front for 4th place at the moment. Martin with Jamie behind him, Adam Morris behind that, MLV behind Adam Morris, and then Fraser and Ginge, who seem to be catching up with him. Could end up here with a 6-car scrap for that 4th place.
Yeah, not forgetting some of these have just done a 22 lap race around Silverstone, so concentration levels might be starting to fade just a little bit.
Whitford doing an amazing job here.
Whitford.
Amazing job so far. 5 laps completed in that BMW, still on the podium positions.
It's nice to see people opting for the BMW though. It's nice to see a slight variant than just McGann's on the grid. It's a shame the Mercedes is so underpowered.
And the Astra as well, for good measure.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Jack trying the Astra last season, and he had a decent pace at Imola, but that was about the only circuit that the car was really good at, and ended up changing to the BMW partway through.
Need to be careful of that curve.
Oh, Jamie having
a up as well.
Jamie had a bit of a tweak going on there.
On board shots with MLB 2741.
See how fast that BMW is in a straight line. It does pull away from the McGann, to be fair. But obviously it has to be earlier on the brakes to get the speed down to get it into the corner. And MLV looking alongside before Old Hall.
I don't think he's going to be able to make it stick now. He has to slot back in.
Oh, and that'll be a penalty for Fraser if he doesn't slow down. But he's carrying immense pace for Old Hall because of it. Oh, and MLV now.
There's nothing that Adam Morris can do here. He's going to have the inside line, though he's going to hold it.
No, MLV looking for a switchback, but Adam Morris parking it perfectly on the apex. Great defensive driving from Adam Morris.
Yeah, very good.
See, Ginge has dropped off the back of this pack, so maybe a slight mistake somewhere or a slowdown.
Fraser's, it's just hard to find on certain parts of this track. It's very, very hard to overtake on, and it is all just about sticking with the guy in front.
Oh, Jamie, very close for Jamie, clipping the dirt on the exit of Druids. He'll lose the place to Adam.
Here.
Will MLV get him as well? It looks like he might well do. Although the power of that BMW might make him still on the inside.
Fraser's going to try and find a way past here as well. He's not going to be able to make it through, is he?
Oh,
down the inside. Oh,
that's
no.
contact. A late lunge from Fraser.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, looking at it, I'd say Fraser there was room for it. I think he was just unsighted. MLV just moved over slightly, and the rest is obviously what we saw on the screen. And I don't think any driver really too much at fault there. Obviously, from the angles we see, it's hard. We can only sort of say as we watched it. Excuse me.
Yeah, very tough one to call.
Jamie losing out.
I mean, it looked quite very, very late from Fraser to move into it, and unfortunately the door just closed, as natural racing would assume. I don't think any of them were expecting that sort of move from Fraser. I think they were all thinking he would stay back and try and get a run out of the corner. Oh, Jamie into the wall.
Jamie. Yeah, it could be frustration a little bit, concentration. It's knocked a little bit by that fortunate incident.
Bit of red mist. Needs to get it cleared immediately so he can try and revive what is left of this race.
I mean, it is very easy when you're watching commentate. It's easy to pick out, oh, should this have happened, should not. When you're actually in the car and it's moving a lot faster than what we can see, sometimes you go for a move, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But obviously, we know no driver in this league is going to really do anything on purpose to take someone out. It can just be that slightest little misjudgment, and it just relates into what we see on the screen, but hard to call really. Jamie going down the inside here.
I mean, the biggest thing for us is that we can call it slightly better because obviously we have experience in the sim racing field, so we kind of understand what the driver was thinking. I think Fraser in that instance thought, hang on, they've both gone a bit wide, doors open.
Yeah.
And in the words of Max Verstappen, let's lick the stamp and send it in there.
Yeah, I don't really think it helped that MLV had Jamie to the other side of him as well. I think he might have moved over slightly just because Jamie was there. So it's one of them. We could pick it apart all night and you could come up with 1,000 different scenarios, but what happened, unfortunately.
And Ginge back into the top
probably,
5.
Yeah, looks like Adam Morris had a slowdown there. Ginge was definitely carrying a lot more speed than him. But Ginge up to 5th, not forgetting that Ginge lap 1 went to the back of the grid, so made very good progress throughout this race. Is that a slowdown for Ginge there as well? He's got his light flashing.
No, looks like he went away before the corner. And he's carrying good pace at the moment, half a second quicker than Martin, who's ahead of him at the moment in 4th place. So you can find more battles. There's Ben Tully still behind Jamie. Tro 246, another debutant in this series today. See how he goes. He's currently in 11th place in the McGann. He's had a fairly clean go of it so far. I will say it's a shame really about Tim losing all this time at the moment, because Tim and Shadowstalker normally have some of the best battles around as Tim goes for the Foster circuit.
He's turned his sat-nav back on now to tell him which way to go. Yeah, I mean, Shadowstalker's been with the group since day one as well, and in fairness to him, he's one guy that will never quit out of a race if something doesn't go his way. He would just keep on going, and he's just an absolute super. And if anyone is sort of like a slower racer or towards the back of the grid as well, the races that you can have and the battles that you can have with Shadowstalker are absolutely immense.
Yeah, I can relate to having not retired, because probably a bit like you, Phil. Every race I've started so far, I've actually gone to finish, which is quite an achievement considering some of the incidents you can get up in. I mean, I know it's one of those things. It's really hard when you know you're at the back. You've either had an incident and you know you're never going to catch up. It's almost quite hard to continue on, really. But having that 100% finish record is somewhat important for points.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes you've just got to treat it like it's real world. If you were a real world driver, you wouldn't be able to go, right, I'm just going to pull in, because your sponsors would just pull out straight away. And I think that's what people forget, is when you're playing a game, people are like, there's no need to carry on. But it just takes something out of it when you see a full grid starting and they have full grid finish. And even if some people are like 30, 40 seconds behind, it does add something to the race at the end if everyone just stays in.
You can watch this battle here with Jamie and Ben Sully, closest people on the circuit so far. And so Ben Sully really is starting to push Jamie here.
Yeah, I was going to say that McGann looking very pacey, coming onto the home straight there. But Ben Sully found some pace from somewhere, although Jamie has pulled away just a little bit. A little bit smoother through the corners.
I'm guessing
just a little bit there.
I'm guessing Martin must be listening to the stream, because he has responded to Ginger's times and has matched them so far. So, and he's also got a penalty to worry about, so he's got to make sure he doesn't lose any more time. Otherwise, he could be done out of his 4th place just by a penalty. it's probably one of the most talked about points, really, isn't it? Especially around circuits like Oulton Park, where the penalties are just so strict. It can sometimes limit the racing.
Yeah, penalties is one of these things that always comes up in the next gen sort of like group after races. Some of them we can overturn. So, for example, if you go off track to avoid someone, then it gives you a drive through. You can just ignore that. If you get disqualified at the end, we just overturn it. We just treat it like where we just give you the point of where you finished. What a lot of people don't realise is though sometimes they'll say, well, I've been given a slowdown penalty, but it shouldn't have. But they don't realise just how far they go off the track. And what people don't realise is if you go off, just take your foot off the accelerator. Because if you actually just ease your car through and don't power down, a lot of the time the game won't give you that penalty. It's when you keep your foot down, that's when the game will do it. Because the game is coded. Unfortunately, it's not like real life where... But in real world, penalties will be given as well to people. You just obviously don't see it happen like you do in the game. But yeah, sometimes it can take the edge off it a little bit. It does make people a little bit more cautious. It sometimes can stop the side-by-side racing, but a lot of the time it also stops the abuse of the track cutting that you can find people tend to do when penalties are off. So it's a double-edged sword, really.
See here, Royston and Tro 246 having a little bit of a battle here for 11th spot. That's Tim letting everyone through.
Yeah. Penultimate lap now as well.
It is, and Tro. It's a solid debut so far from Tro 246. Not obviously blindingly quick off the bat, but you'd never expect to be. And he's just had a really solid go of it so far. And he's going to get rewarded here with, is that 6 points? If I remember my point system correctly.
And I mean, what you've got to remember as well is pretty much the rest of the field have been racing in this league, not just for this season, but for a few seasons before it as well. So one, they're used to how everyone else drives. When you join a group and you join a race mid-season as well, you're also learning the driving styles of everyone else as well, and it can make you a little bit more cautious. So to finish anywhere really on the table is quite an achievement. I mean, looking at his car as well, there's no damage on it or anything, so he's had a nice clean race as well by the looks of it.
Now, Martin's on the back of Whitford. But Martin, I'm going to have a quick check of this, has a 2-second penalty. So right now he's behind Ginge on timings. And he's only got this final lap here to get rid of Ginge by 2 seconds and potentially Whitford.
Yeah, and Whitford's going to be slowing him down here as well. So this is going to allow Ginge to close that gap even more. He only really needs to stay up. I don't think it shows on anyone's screen what time penalty is to be issued, so I don't think Ginge will know about the time penalty.
It does. Just be if you have the position tower on your HUD, it do show the penalties given to people. So
right, okay.
But only if you have that tower HUD on. Whilst these three are battling away, and I love to keep hold of it, Scooby G is going to win at Oulton Park in a dominant fashion.
Yeah, all on his own there.
And here comes Jack with a bit front end damage. He'll take second at his home race. Whitford will hold on for third here. And we know Ginge will be in fourth thanks to penalties. Martin fifth. Adam Morris will come home sixth in the BMW MLV 27441. Another good result. Seventh place. Fraser. Penalty on the end. There's Jamie. And Fraser does beat Ben Sully. I wonder if Tro 246 actually in the top 10. with Royston 11th. Ben Sully ready to have some penalties, didn't he?
Yeah, so...
Do you want to have 7?
Was it Fraser that finished 11th then, was it?
Yeah, I wonder if... no, I finished 9th at the end. So Scooby winning, Jack 2nd, Whitford 3rd, Ginge 4th, Martin 5th, Adamara 6th, MLV 7th, Jamie 8th, Fraser 9th. I wonder if that was Fraser giving back Jamie the position for the earlier incident. Troy 246 in 10th, Royston 11th, Ben Sully down to 12th, D Whitehouse 7th, 13th, Shutterstalker 14th, and Tim rounding out in 15th place. Yeah,
it could have been the 2-second. It could have been the 2-second penalty for Fraser that's pushed him down to 9th.
Oh no, because he was really slow coming on up to the line. So, and Jamie and MLV both passed on the way to the line. So, I would suspect that was Fraser giving Jamie the position back after that incident. Maybe thinking, I'll carry on racing, but if I don't really get anywhere and I'm one place ahead, I'll just give it back because of that moving incident.
I think Fraser got the fastest lap as well. Just
103.8, yeah.
Scooby.
Yep, I will concur on that one. Fraser taking fastest lap, no point for fastest lap though. But Scooby, I believe, after that, will lead the championship, I believe.
I do like Oulton Park.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, I mean, Scooby just took out 4 points from Jack, so now Scooby leads the championship by 2 points, completely reversing the order for the top 2, keeping the same gap.
Good performance by Whitford as well. He did well to hold off.
Yeah, good podium actually in the BMW. Very tough car to drive around this track as well, knowing all the corners.
Yeah, you can see from the field just that the Megane is the best all round and easiest to drive of the touring car class.
News from the pit lane, speaking to Jack. Apparently he had the pace to keep up with Jeff. I was known as Scooby G. But Scooby G just drove perfect and Jack made a couple of mistakes. So that was literally the difference. But next week we are at Sakito. What a track that will be. So do join us next week for Sakito in the modern touring cars. But from myself and Phil, thank you for watching tonight and have a good evening.
Yep, thanks.